Hello Sylvia, so this is the video you asked for. It's the way I do the Brazilian manicure at home. And the reason why it's the Brazilian manicure is because I remove my cuticles. So I'm going to show you how to do that and how to apply the polish the Brazilian style. So the tools that you're going to need to clip the nails and remove the cuticles will be the clipper, the pusher, the nipper, and the file. Now some people like to use the big nipper to cut the nail, so that's up to you. I prefer the clipper personally. In case you like to use that, the buffer. Of course, a little bit of water. The tools you're going to need to paint the nail will be, of course, the polish, a base coat, and a top coat, and the stick, some cotton, and the polish remover. So what I like to do first is I either take a shower or do the dishes or something in order to keep the nails softer. That's not mandatory. You can do them when they're dry. You'll only need to soak them in the water when you're gonna push the cuticles, but to clip them you don't really need to do that. So just gonna do like that. Unlike the toenails, I like my fingernails to be a little more square, but not too square. So just gonna follow along the shape that I already have. You don't need to cut a lot far back. I like my nails to be really short, a little bit squared. Oh, there we go. Now here we are with super square nails, super pointy, like you can scratch yourself with this, I think. So I'm gonna go ahead and file everything. I start with the sides because the nail grows to the sides a little bit, as you can see. So I'm gonna get rid of any excess here. And it's just a little bit. And I'm gonna try to align the shape as I like it here. So just do a little bit on top, get rid of some excess on the top, and I do the sides really gently just so that it's a little bit round, not too square. See? A little bit round, but the main shape is a little square. Here it is. Now there's always gonna be a little bit of skin under the nail, so I file that off too on the sides. Here it is. So let's do the other fingers. So what I do next is, if you put your finger here, you're gonna feel there's like a little bit of a border. So I'm gonna get rid of that very gently. and move to the corners. So the nails are done, and we're gonna move on to the cuticles. So I just heated up this amount of water for 15 seconds on the microwave, and I'm gonna stick both my hands in here, and I'm gonna wait for like 3 to 4 minutes so my cuticles are soft. Some people put shampoo or hand lotion in this water. I think this makes the polish chip faster, so I like to use just some warm water, and it does the result for me. So now my 4 minutes are up. I'm gonna take my fingers off the water and keep the water close. I'm gonna dab it a bit and start pushing the cuticles. Now you can see there's a little bit of polish left from the last time, so it's gonna come off along with the cuticles. So I'm gonna push it also gently, but making sure it's not stuck on my nail. So now I get the nipper, and this is the interesting part. Let's get a little closer. I go on the sides, but I never pinch myself, okay, or else it's gonna hurt. You have to grab the skin where you don't feel anything, because if you feel, it's gonna bleed and it's gonna hurt. You kind of stick one of the blades right here. Can you see it? It's between the feeling part and the non-feeling part. So if you pinch it, you don't feel pain, and it's pretty close, so it looks nice. See? It's supposed to be one smooth line. Sometimes I take the skin off the nipper so I can see things better. I put some water on it so it's softer. You're not supposed to cut anything above this line, okay? Everything around here is very sensitive. That's just what you need. And there you go. Just really smooth. And so I move on to the other finger, always using a little bit more water. So I start from the sides because sometimes there's a little skin that lifts here and it kind of annoys me, so I cut it off. The reason why you're looking for a smooth line here is because you're gonna use the stick around it, like it has to go smoothly. La la la. And taking the skin There it is. I love how cute it looks. Alright, so the last thing I do is, there's always a little bit of skin under the nail, so I get some water on it and I put the nipper under it and I cut a little bit. I'm not trying to cut the nail, just that, can you see it? It's a little bit of skin that it's kind of part of the nail, but if I don't cut it, I'm gonna scratch myself afterwards. But you know, this part is an extra. If it doesn't bother you, so you don't have to do it. Do you see there's a little polish that won't come off right on the corner here? I use the pointy side of the pusher to gently scrape it off. See? It came off. So now we're ready. Everything is filed and clipped and no cuticles around the fingers. So we're ready for polish. So I'm gonna take my towel off. No, just like to do it on the table. And I'm gonna take my base coat and shake it a little bit to start everything. And I'm not gonna use the stick now. If it goes over the skin a little bit, it's okay. The good part of cutting your cuticles is that after you do it like 3 or 4 times, your fingers will stop peeling. Not exactly peeling, but you know when that skin lifts and you like want to bite it off and everything? Sorry. And so it's gonna look better after a few times. You do it like 3 or 4 times. And I don't know, I think your cuticles kind of settle, I used to have a lot of those. They used to lift and I used to bite them and they bled. But now I try to do my nails every week or like every 10 days. And that doesn't happen anymore. Go figure. Okay, so I finished both hands, and I'm gonna use this OPI Lovely color, which name I forgot, and I will not mind if it touches my skin. So first coat here. And now I'm gonna take the stick and go between the skin and the nail. Go around it. pushing the skin a little back, just a little bit. Now this is how it looks so far, and it's okay, it's supposed to look like this, alright? We're gonna clean it up afterwards. I'm gonna apply 2 coats, and I'm gonna have to do that 2 times. Oh, I just spin the stick here so the excess polish stays right here, and I'll clean it off afterwards. Some girls get to do it like they do at once, like one movement, and you know, I have a hard time doing that, so I do like 2-3 movements. I think I have more control over what I'm doing. Like the sides first, and then the bottom. It's the first coat, so it doesn't need to be super perfect. The second coat needs to be a little better. Oh, there's some cotton tips here. Okay. So doing your left hand, if you're a right-handed person, is easier. So the trick is doing the right hand, but with some practice you're gonna do it just fine, you know. So that was my first coat. I'm gonna go ahead and repeat everything, left first and then right. Time for a top coat, but I like to do the top coat after I clean everything up, so I'm gonna show you. So this is one of the tricky parts of the Brazilian manicure too, because you're gonna need the stick, the remover, and some cotton. Be careful not to stick your nail to the cotton or get any like flyouts into your nails, because you're gonna want to scream, you know. So be really careful, use the tip of your fingers. And so here's what you're gonna do. Dab the tip of the stick in the remover, so it's gonna help the cotton to stick to it. So I roll it over and take off a little bit of cotton, and I push it while I spin it, not too tight, so it looks like this. So I'm gonna dab it again, just a tip, and I'm gonna use it to remove the polish from around the finger. Be careful not to touch the polish, like the nail. There you go. You can see it's still a little red around the nail, but it's gonna come off like after you wash your hands a couple times and everything, so you don't have to freak out about it. Just remove the thick stuff. So you can see there's quite a bit of polish on this tip already, so I'm gonna remove it. And I'm gonna do a nail tip. You don't have to do a nail tip for every finger. You know, a tip will be good for a couple fingers, but you're gonna see how much you need as you do it. So roll it over, dab it, hand is almost good to go. There's still this part that I have to remove. So, nail polish remover. Don't forget to put the cover on from time to time because it will dry off so quickly. So I take a little bit of the cotton. Really careful not to mess my fresh nails. Put the lid on. And very carefully remove the little things. See how I am really careful not to touch my other nails. Now my nails are done, and the only thing left is the top coat. So the top coat, I'm going to shake it a little bit. That's the only part where I try not to get it over my skin. I try to stay within the nail. If it happens that there is a little bit on my skin, I take the stick and I'll remove it. Just the outside. I don't stick the thing between my nail and my skin, I just remove it on the outside like this, very gently. So that's it. After the top coat, you're good to go. So this was my Brazilian manicure. Hope you liked the tips and hope you enjoyed seeing it. Bye bye.